I think we can all agree that in Michael Bay's Transformers movies, the Autobots and Decepticons seemed almost too real, especially for 2007 standards, and most of that was all thanks to the incredible work of the artist behind the CGI for the film. However, director Michael Bay's use of practical effects also extremely enhanced the CGI, leading moviegoers to wonder what was real and what was fake. One of the most remarkable examples of this blend of reality and digital magic was the creation of a life-sized Bumblebee replica. This wasn't just a prop, it was a full-scale 16-foot-tall, 3,200-pound robot, built to bring Bumblebee to life in a way that CGI alone couldn't achieve. So let's dive right into how this incredible piece of movie history was brought to life and why it remains one of the most ambitious builds ever made for the big screen.
XM satellite radio, digital cable
broadcasting system.
Alright, so you might be wondering why this life-size replica of Bumblebee was built. And well, one of the main reasons was to help bring down cost. You see, making the robots look photorealistic in the film was a very time-consuming and complicated process, demanding an incredible level of precision. And when it took roughly 38 hours to render one single frame of film if it had 3 robots in it, keeping the movie within its $150 million budget was going to be a real challenge. Knowing that Bumblebee would be up close and personal with several members of the human cast, the filmmakers realized that they needed more than just Bumblebee's head on a window washer pole to create the emotional and dynamic scenes they envisioned. They needed a physical presence, something tangible for the actors to engage with, something that could convey the scale, weight, and reality of this beloved Autobot. And so Michael Bay ordered the special effects team to construct a life-size Bumblebee. Now you might be wondering how the special effects team was going to achieve this. You might think that they could simply take a Bumblebee's CGI model and turn it into a physical replica, but that would have been a monumental challenge. The CGI model of Bumblebee was incredibly complex, with over 7,600 individual pieces meticulously designed to achieve that perfect look on screen. Translating such a detailed digital model into a real-world prop would have been virtually impossible without some serious modifications. Therefore, the filmmakers realized that they had to simplify the design for the physical replica. And so concept artists Ben Proctor, Tony Kami, Carl Stralendov, and pre-visualization modeler Louise Baker were tasked with creating a simplified version of Bumblebee's CGI model. This streamlined design was transformed into a computer-aided design file. The CAD file was then handed over to the special effects department, where John Fraser, the special effects director for the film, and his team at F Experts Incorporated were tasked with bringing Bumblebee to life. However, before they could build Bumblebee, they needed director Michael Bay's approval of the physical design. And so the team started by 3D printing a miniature Bumblebee model. After the miniature was approved by Bay, the team moved on to constructing the full-scale Bumblebee. They began by welding a robust frame to support the weight of the robot. Foam was used to sculpt the outer parts of Bumblebee, and silicone rubber was poured over these foam models to create detailed molds. Once the silicone hardened, flexible black rubber was cast into these molds to form the final parts. Some smaller components were hand sculpted, while larger pieces were cut using a 5-axis router, and reinforced with fiberglass. The assembly of Bumblebee involved welding 150 parts onto the frame, including the license plate, which was the only real car part on the replica. Given the sheer size of the replica, standing at 16 feet 10 7/8 inches tall and weighing 3,200 pounds, a 180 horsepower crane was used to lift and position each section. It took the team around 8 to 10 hours to put Bumblebee together for the first time at the Hoover Dam, but as they got the hang of it and got better equipment, they were able to build Bumblebee in roughly 3 hours. The painting process, which cost around $75,000, involved applying a special 4-layer paint to perfectly match the finish on the 2008 concept Camaro that Bumblebee transforms into. Every stage from the initial CAD file to the final paint job was meticulously executed to ensure that Bumblebee was both visually stunning and durable enough for the film. It took 3 sculptors and 4 mold makers about 3 months to create the life-size Bumblebee, which cost around $200,000 to build. The replica became a crucial element in the film, serving as a tangible and interactive presence on set. The first time it appeared was during the scene where Bumblebee gets captured by Sector 7, and it would later be seen again when Bumblebee was being taken into the Hoover Dam. Funnily enough, you can see that his door wings are not attached to his body. During the scene where Bumblebee was being experimented on and the scene where Sam finds him, the filmmakers were able to make the replica move by using special airbags. Now, the last time we would see the life-size Bumblebee in the film was during the Mission City battle. The legs of the replica and several associated parts would be detached and thrown under a van during the scene where Bumblebee realizes that he lost his legs. We would later see the replica again during the scene where Michaela Baines puts the chains around Bumblebee's neck, which I personally think was the best use of the replica, since when I first saw this scene I thought it was CG. Now, the last time we would see the replica was during a quick shot in the scene where Bumblebee was fighting Brawl. And while this would be the last time we would see the life-size Bumblebee on screen, the replica would go on to be featured in a Verizon commercial and make several cameos at various exhibits. Most notably, it appeared at the premiere for the Transformers 2007 film, put on display at the Holloman Air Force Base to hype up the release of Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, and of course it was shown off in all of its glory at the premiere of Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. As for what happened to the life-size replica, it would be auctioned off and sold on October 9th, 2009 for $88,000. Unfortunately, we don't know who the buyer is, but whoever they are, they allowed the Bumblebee replica to continue its journey being displayed at various exhibits around the United States. And currently, for several years now, it has been displayed at Paramount's Prop Vault in Los Angeles, and you can see it for your very own eyes if you take the Paramount Studio tour.